Today's short is being brought to you by Goya Foods. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Your daily game plan for success. It's Sachs in the Morning. Steve Sachs.
Hi, Steve Sachs here with Sachs in the Morning, and today is Wednesday the 16th. We're finishing up a week about finishing strong. And talk about finishing strong. We've got a great couple of guests tomorrow. Bucky Dent and his beautiful wife, Angie, are going to be our long-form guests tomorrow on Thursday. When you talk about, getting her done and finishing strong, wait till you listen to Bucky Dent. What a story. This was a guy that I really looked up to when I was in high school, and he's got a lot of good things to say. So be sure you tune in tomorrow on Thursday and hear Bucky and Angie Dent. So finishing strong is so important, especially this time of year, because we're obviously headed towards the end of this year. We're going to be starting up a new one, and you're either going to or you're not. That's just the way it is. It's going to be because you either did what you were supposed to do or you didn't. Let's call that the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You can decide that. And James Allen, who wrote the great book As a Man Thinketh, I think he said it best. It's kind of like the pain of discipline or pain of regret quote. We've all heard that before. He says it this way. He says, in our lives, there are efforts and there are results. And the strength of the effort is the measure of the result. Kind of the same thing, right? So when we write down our goals that we talked about in yesterday's short, they're what we call SMART. They're specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and they're time-bound. And you have to have somebody to hold you accountable. So this is what I did when I had to be held accountable, when I was going through a very, very tough time in my life. It was my second year in the big leagues, and I had a throwing issue. I was a bona fide Major League Baseball player that was on the All-Star team already and won the Rookie of the Year, and yet I had a confidence issue. And it manifested itself into where I couldn't throw the ball 20 feet where I wanted it to go. I became the laughing stock of the league. It was a horrible thing until I got my confidence back and got through it. But I made it a personal quest. I made it more than just a baseball thing. This was my salvation as a person. And I accepted the challenge. And I kind of made it like a fight, if you will. And I'm not going to let this thing whoop me. So I bit this problem right back in the face and challenged it. I actually challenged this problem to go ahead and beat me. And that wasn't going to happen. So that's what I did to make myself accountable. So having all your ducks in a row isn't all there is, though. We're rounding the corner now towards the end of the year, and you may be one of two things. Exhausted from a year of hard work or fired up that you're getting towards the end of this finish line. Momentum is everything now. It's like a freight train rolling down the hill, and you want to pick that up a bit as well. Dig down deep and do the things that you know that you need to do. So here are a few ways to make that work for you. Be consistent. In the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, who is a great speaker as well, he lists out 5 steps to gain and keep momentum. And here's what they are. Number 1, establish a morning regimen. Do your most important tasks early. You're fresher then and are more likely to get done what needs to be done. Number 2, create an evening schedule. Review the day. Did you do what needed to be done? Does something need to be moved to the most important task of the morning? How about number 3? Change up your routine. Don't let things get boring. Stay fresh. Do something different. A new walking route or an online course just might be something to freshen you up a bit. Number 4, log your new habits. This is where you get to see how well you're doing the things on your list of goals. Are you doing them enough to make them routine? And number 5, avoid negative self-talk. You can do this. Remember our episodes on the mental game. So many successful people are working on this. Positivity is everything here. You control your thoughts. Anytime you doubt the ability to finish strong, respond with positive affirmations. This is another way of what we call flicking off the saboteur that will stay on our shoulders for sometimes. That's what we do a lot in coaching, is stop the negative thoughts and guard what goes into that computer on your shoulders, even down to the most trivial thoughts. It's really important to put positive things in and jettison out the negative thoughts, okay? Very important to do that. Fear, doubt, and worry, they're not going to do you any good at all. Now that you've got momentum on your side, You've got your goals, you've got your support partner, and you've got that momentum in your favor. So here's to a great year of finishing strong. And that's my short for today. If you like what you heard, give us a positive review, subscribe, and share. Also, remember that the Sax in the Morning swag is now available on my Instagram site. Go to Sax in the Morning _podcast. You'll see it right there on the Instagram, and just hit the link. Everything's there, mugs, hats, tumblers, you name it. Take advantage of it. And thanks to Al Hendrickson Toyota for their support of this podcast. And be sure to visit alhendricksontoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.